It was a little bit rushed near the end of this as well, so I just wanted to kind of go over this. I think we covered the idea that this is a rose. Length of those rose petals are 6. How many rose petals? 3, based on some things. But I want to kind of get back to this part right here. The R, I think we understood, that just really comes from that length, right? And it's the absolute value, because some of them have, if we look up here, that coordinate point was -6 pi over 3. Even though it's a negative length, it still extended a distance of 6. So algebraically, you can kind of see how we solve these, although this looks like it got cut off a little bit. So cosine of 0 equals 1, cosine of 2 pi equals 1. And then we solve for theta. So theta equals 0 here, theta equals pi over 2. And then we can also have that length equal -6, so we divide as -1. And so this coordinate point would be -1 pi over 3. So if I go back up here, pi over 3 is here, and if I go negative, this would be 6, but I'm going negative, so it extends here. So that's where you get that value. I talked about I would be okay with this as a justification, knowing that we have this right here showing us that 0 at angle 0 with a radius of 6. That's where it's starting. And there should be 3 petals equal length all the way around. Now, going down to here, how do we solve this? Find the zeros where there are values where it's 0. We can set this equal to 0, divide by 6, and I need to see where cosine is 0. Well, that happens at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. And then if I solve for theta by substituting in 3 theta, I get pi over 6 is one answer, which is where we saw that petal. I'm sorry, where that 0 would be. And then we have pi over 2. And I had to add 2 pi over 3 because that's the new period. And it happens more than once before we reach that length of 0 to pi. And I'm going to back up just a little bit. I limit it from 0 to pi because that's where it tells me at the beginning. I want to look at where all the zeros are from 0 to pi. Now, I do algebraically show you how you do this, solve each equation, add 2 pi. But maybe a more visual way to think about this is to think about what that visualization looks like. So with this cosine graph, if I know that this is the graph of cosine, I know that the amplitude is 6. And if I calculate the period is 2 pi over 3. So instead of going from, 0 to 2 pi, or even 0 to pi, it's going to 2/3 pi right here. And what that graph looks like, it starts high, right? And it goes up and down. And what's going to happen is it's going to hit here, which is pi over 6. If we kind of quarter it, and then, half it, then quarter it. And then it also hits here, which happens to be pi over 2. And if we kept doing this pattern, and repeat that value, you're going to see that hit here, which is at 5 pi over 6. And again, it only asks from 0 to pi, so that's where we see those 3 values.